Hello?
Uh,
Hey, what up?
shit.
Fucking slept in today.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I stayed up till like, I don't know, like 4 in the morning or something. Man, I just woke up.
Nigga, after that steak, nigga, and that potato, nigga, is over with.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm done with hitting me a couple licks this morning, and I'm about to roll up me a little splendiferous, and I finished Act 2 yesterday.
um,
That shit was hard as fuck. I probably died to the Jamanara like 9 times, probably, for real.
yeah, I forget.
Jamanara, the Act 2 boss at the Dreadnought. Did you and Andy solo it, or did you guys do it in duo?
Solo basically everything. What we did together was the what's it called content.
Huh?
This is the only thing we did together was the ascendancy content. I think we did I ran a little bit of his lower shit, but no, like 90% of his shit he did on his own. He just finished. He said he didn't have any problem with mech tool, but he's mostly ice, and he's a DPS class. Like in a long fight, I don't have problem with bosses because I can basically soak anything. But that fight was particularly hard just because the nigga just you're on a time limit, you know. You're just gonna get beat by the timer by him, you know.
Timer?
Stupid.
You talking about
Huh?
the timer? What are you talking about?
Because if you don't kill him before the lava,
I'm not even talking about that guy.
I said that's what I'm talking.
Oh.
That's the only person I had a problem with. I said Andy didn't have free. I said that's what Andy just did. Andy, that's where he was at when I saw him. He had just finished that. He said he had no problem with it. But he's also running an ice build, you know,
Right.
which has made it like a lot easier for him.
Oh yeah, because that thing is gonna die to ice immediately. Yeah, I'm about to start streaming this third act. I think I went and found the waterways last night and got off. Yeah, the Jarminar was hard, man. Like and the dumb thing is, it's like you never really know if the game is fucking cheating, or if it's just your time, right? Like for instance, you'll get in there and fight him down to like 5% health, and you're out of everything. You're out of time. You're out of space. You're out of mana. You're out of health. Like there's no reasonable reason that you should be 1% of health trying to put this thing down past its last 5%. You know. So to me, it feels like the game be fucking cheating. Like it be having modifiers on damage or something, man. Like this instance, you know, you do 0.07 less damage per hit, like, and so then he just lives forever. Like I just don't see how the game is designed where he can have like a million health and you can do 500 damage per hit, and you're just supposed to sit there for 40 minutes hitting him down. Like that shit's so stupid to me. That's not even challenging. That's just I hate game mechanics that are built around just give the boss more damage, just give the boss more health. Like if anything, make them stronger, but then make me have to fight wave after wave of mobs. I would rather do that than to sit somewhere and to just hit spacebar and click a button, hit spacebar, click a button, hit spacebar, click a button. Because that's not skill. Like that's just repetitive. You know, can you follow the hum to the beat? He's not especially hard. He stays right in your fucking face the whole time too. Like he's annoying for that reason. There's a couple bosses that I absolutely do not like to fight. He's like the worst boss. In my opinion, he's like one of the hardest bosses. Not because of what he does, but because of what level you're at when you gotta fight him. Like, nigga, I ain't found the first level 2 skill gem. I ain't found but one lesser jeweler's orb, nigga. How many of them you got?
0.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant like how many I own 0. I thought you meant how many I use. Yeah, no, yeah, I think it's hard out here, bro. It's all bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they nerfed the loot, and I think that's so tragic because that's like the funnest part of the game. Like, there's no fun in fighting these bosses. There's no real like humdrum mechanic that you can feel good about when you beat the boss. Like, when you fight that fat bitch from the filth, like, she's kind of you feel good about beating her because she does really the same basic attacks. You know, the circle spin and drop the hammer on you. Like, you can feel good about beating her. But some of these other guys, like, the AI is so bad and their fighting mechanic that it just feels like all you have to do is just spam roll and you can just live. I personally.
But I tell you, yeah, the druid, whatever druid, toxic druid, whatever that nigga, he's annoying. Like, if you're not ready for him, like if you are, he's not. But he does the not incinerate, but the solar orbs. But he's got the acid version, and he shoots like 100 of them. And if you gotta just dodge, and he's got that pool in the middle of the ground, and he'll teleport you into it. And it'll just like during the second, if you can't kill him fast enough, he'll just start like teleporting you while he's shooting them bitches out. Like, he'll just fucking insta you. It's ridiculous. He's annoying. I didn't have a problem with him. Like, this warrior just be tanking everything. The only fight I really had a problem with was the timed fights where I can't, just beat the nigga with attrition. I beat Gordon fast and only he's pretty annoying. He's pretty,
Darmanio.
Come, finally. The hound that acts about it has come for me.
So I remember last my first playthrough, I used a bow shot for like 90% of the first like act for the first 2 playthroughs. Like, I didn't even use electric until like my second run through. Now I'm using electric from the beginning, and it is a lot better for like clearing multiple. I definitely took longer having to clear through this map the first time around than I did this time. Because you got a damn near bow shot each person when you're just using a bow shot, but when you got this electric, it got some good enough splash damage where. But I really, as far as the damage goes, there's only a couple things that I've noticed about the Ranger that feels slightly nerfed. Because in different ways, I was playing different Ranger builds, and they would have to have nerfed like 6 things for the Ranger to lost like viability in all the different ways you can build it. So I don't know that it actually hurt the game, honestly. Like, there has been a couple things that I've noticed, like hardcore, like, man, that sucks. Like, I can't do that no more, or that's not working. Like, for instance, the one thing that I think they did change is the aim lock. Like, my Ranger used to not miss as many shots because the aim assist would just light the character up and then you just click and shoot. Now, sometimes I just be straight missing even though I'm looking right at the person I'm shooting at. So I think they nerfed that a little bit, the auto-targeting. Which that does hurt because when you're running through as a Ranger and you're just like basically W key in the map, like, you don't really want to have to sit and try to aim at people because you're just W keying, like. So an attack that would have hit before that ain't hit now, it's kind of making you have to slow down the map a little bit. Not even that you can't kill, it just, you don't hit all your shots to get everybody together. been a lot of things that are like strong to electricity too. I've been noticing that a lot. But I would say this has been a fairly easy run through, other than that one boss. Like, he did give me some attitude last night. Jamanara. The Act 2 final boss. Huh?
I think his name is Jamanara.
Jamanara. The Jamanara. That's what I call him. I don't know, you had to wait till you do like a video edit clip or something when they say his name, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really heard him say his name in a while.
He's pretty really good, Nico.
Andy.
Yeah.
R/Defs, nigga. Just play with me.
You what?
I said R/Defs, nigga. Don't play with me.
I haven't died one time.
Exactly. I am undefeatable. I had 18 deaths going into the Jamanara last night. I probably died to that nigga 9 times after that. Like, do you guys know if they're buying Stellar Ambulance and rings this season?
No, I don't know. I'm surprised when they say they want to buy anything other than like buy things of the same shit.
Yeah, the trade chat's been a little short on. I've had it turned off too though, but the trade chat's been kind of short on. Because I found me a sapphire ring, a white one.
Me too. I was looking to see if anybody wanted to buy. I didn't see anybody kind of, you know.
Somebody else was in the chat asking that same question and said, "Do people buy these?"
You didn't respond?
No. Oh, this guy is selling 60 Stellar Amulets for 5 Divines and 60 Heavy Belts.
I'm just saying the thing, sapphire ring, so it says exalted though, I don't know.
I gotta get my dog, I'll be right back.
Sapphire ring is 120 exalts. Oh, is that true?
What'd you say?
I was for you. Said selling times 60 sapphire ring. Oh, times 60.
Well, see, yeah, it's, you know, the market right now is not as saturated as what and it might be even more saturated because not everybody has chance orbs, right? So like, just because you got 60 sapphire rings, nigga, do you have 60 fucking chance orbs? Like, that shit's got to be just as rare. Ooh, 70 exalts for your final boss fight? That's not bad, actually. It's not bad at all.
time in Trial of Chaos, man.
Did you get through it?
Yeah, we got through it, yeah. Twice. Well, I beat it like 4 times.
Yeah, but did you beat it on level, well, you ain't even got level 80 yet, so never mind.
I just got the first and second.
Yeah, no, it don't matter.
You got your second set of sympathy points yet?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, I'm still in Act 2.
Right. Did you get your first set of tendencies?
Of course. Bro, I make this game look easy, bro. There's, like I said, there's a couple hard parts because it's just tough, but the rest of this game is just the video game. It's not hard. It's more of a kind of annoying little thing where, you know, if the map was 20 minutes longer, you would just have to suffer through 20 more minutes of the map, you know? There's nothing really intricate about it for real, but it's cool. It's just not hard. Now the second set is hard as fuck.
Anyway, I was like, bro, if you go back to the John City again, I'm gonna fucking cut you out, Andy. Like, stop just fucking, scumming the spots. Progress. Oh, that's nigga. If it ain't an enemy with a plus, on it to give you a permanent buff, and then we're walking by it. Walking by it.
There really is no point in farming out the lower levels of the game. As much as you can say, content, this content, like, yeah, you're going to get some content by slow rolling through the early game, but there is not a single fucking thing that you're going to find in the campaign that you're actually going to use in mapping for real. Like, it's not going to happen. There wasn't nothing I was rocking at tier 15 maps, tier 14, tier 13 maps that I was using that I found in the world, I don't think. Like in the campaign, I mean. So as long as you get a kit good enough to get through the campaign, that's all you need. And once you get a certain kit that's good enough to get through the campaign, like, yeah. Like, I'm still using, like the lowest level bow that the game has, like a recurve bow, They make, like, just straight up better bows, like the double bow is just a better bow. I haven't found but one of those on the floor yet. I got a pretty good kit already, but I've been, like, mass hoarding shit, like I do. I pick up everything, I decraft everything, or sell it, or whatever. I don't fuck around with that. My character not about to be no brokey. I don't like that they nerfed the runes either. I think for as rare as they really was, like, You didn't really need to make him worse.
They actually make runes better in a lot of ways.
In what ways?
They added attribute runes.
I mean, they just added new runes. They're still too rare. It just that makes it even worse, right? Like now I have 13 different runes I have to dig through to get the one I need, you know, whereas before maybe it was only 6, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if they're even more rare now, then it's just exponentially rare, which that makes them good, but if I can't find them, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, if I can't get it, then I don't care that the game has this fucking, like, you can't get an ingenuity belt, bro. Like, you can't get a headhunter belt. Like, you can get one, but you can't get one. Like, it'd be different if there was areas in the map where, like, the game made it to where this is like a farming area where if you come here, you get BPs. You come here, you get, like, decent loot. No, you have to fight the whole map to fight the one rare at the end to hopefully get a unique item. Like, it is just what it is. I mean, there's no sugarcoating the loot of the game, honestly. Every time I played PUBG, like, when we played OG PUBG on the island, you know, motherfuckers be like, hey, let's go to Gakka. And there's like 4 fucking guns in Gakka. Like, total 4 guns, you know? And that's cool. You know, we'll kill everybody at Gakka, but as soon as we leave Gakka, we're dead. Like, we ain't got shit. We ain't got no health. We ain't got no armor. I would always rather just jump at the military base and have a gun even if I have to fight for it. So I wish there was a place where you could go fight for loot even if you had to fight like some really hard mechanic or puzzle or something. This game does lack puzzles. It's got like go here and pick up quests, you know, pick up this to do this, but as far as like getting like a random gen puzzle, I think that would make the game a lot better. Have different random gen puzzles you had to solve. Because I feel like the gauntlet trial in the second one is corny as shit. Like, just dodge the fire and hit a switch, opens the door. It's not even really a puzzle. It's just a... I think you got the screen door locked. Gotta go around the side door, you know?
You pull the lever, fucking monsters sitting right there, and
right.
The fire behind you, and the spikes going up next side you,
like we get it, you know, but and I think and if they were gonna do some of that, they should have put more of that in the world. There should be spikes in the world maps. There should be fire in the world maps. That way you're not, oh my god, I gotta do the fucking Sekima trial. It just should be just another, you know, this should be the place where you can farm tier loot. Like, if you find a Denbaria that's level 80, you should be able to go in there and know that you're gonna come out with 2 or 3 uniques, whereas, you know, you're just fighting niggas with infinite health. Like, it's the only way they make it harder.
Bro, it's so windy as hell.
It is. My rug blew up off my front door. Like, why am I welcome mat just in my grass, bro? What the hell? I personally have been looking at the skill tree, and I'm trying to figure out how they didn't make the Ranger more broken with the shit they did, bro. Like, they put things closer together, more attainable than what was before. And I'm just like, oh, so I can just really stack crit, like, you know, in level 50 instead of level 80. Like, you guys are going to let me do that for real? That's what got us going last time, was being able to stack crit. Like, so this build I went for attack speed and energy shield. Because I felt like I was getting toasted, like, in the campaign last walkthrough, and shit that I shouldn't have been. Because I was just rocking, like, no energy shield through the first, like, I don't know, 5 acts. You know, I'm still in the early game, but I feel like they've had less chaos damage that is occurring, like blood and fire and pustules blowing up and shit. I feel like there's not as many of those. But I know I'm still early in, so it may not even register for me yet. Ooh, my other complaint about it so far is the map. The map looks different. It used to be a lot like zoomed in or something to where you could kind of tell like where the bosses are at, you know, or the thing that you need to be doing. Whereas this time around, when I got on second act, like I kept going back and forth through shit because it wasn't exactly clear to me like where they were wanting me to go. And even though they would say like you could go to any one of them, I went to this one and it felt like I couldn't actually, you know, do the last fucking part of it because I didn't have a prerequisite to that part. And I'm just like, so I got to go back to this map again, you know? Like I had to clear it just to get to the point where, man, then I did the Titan Grotto map and that really pissed me off because there's 3 seals you have to do. I kept only finding 2. And I didn't know there was a 3rd one or whatever. And it's like, I thought I had the whole fucking map cleared. And so I ended up leaving and I'm like, man, maybe I gotta go do something different, you know? So nah, yeah, it doesn't have like a progression. Like that's one thing that the campaign needs is like a progression per area. Like it needs to tell you that there's 10 guys left or 1,000 guys left. Like, because the mapping will tell you that, and there ain't no different.
Are you at the Queen of Filth right now?
Yeah.
Andy? Get over to you. She is pretty filthy. Whoa, lady. Just got here. Last time? I wanted to crush you, cuz. Last time.
We out here trying to get him gone, cuz.
You got the warrior beating your ass, but you know, prioritize me.
Bro, I'm beating her motherfucking ass, nigga. Glad now. Beat her motherfucking ass, nigga. This is ridiculous. I got her fucking in a corner, fucking destroying her shit, nigga.
You guys fight her together?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nigga, you're over leveled, bro.
I beat her when I was here. Yeah.
So does that make you feel
It
that
still
much
scares you
better?
down. It still scares you down, though.
No, it just makes them stronger.
scales you down.
What do you mean by it scales you down?
It takes your character level to match the character who's the lowest in the group. Like when you fight bosses.
That's not how it works. Is that what you read, or is that just what you're assuming?
If you go to options, you can go to. I'll show you where. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm aware of what it says. You're not quoting what it says. You're just quoting something different.
Making sure it's clear that it's scaling down because it says in there. If you're aware of what you say, then you wouldn't be asking.
No, that's why I'm correcting you, because I don't feel like you're aware of what you're saying, and you're just saying it, and it's not correct. Like, there is two things that can happen. One person can be right, or two people can be wrong.
What is the correct thing? What is it doing?
So when you have two players in there, it makes it harder, and it gives you more loot. That's literally what it says. But when you have that thing selected that you're talking about, it doesn't give you an XP nerf, right? So if you go farm Andy's creature, you're not going to get any XP for it, right? If you have it enabled, then it won't make it hard. It will make it harder for Andy, and you'll get equal XP. If you have it disabled, it'll be easier for you, but you won't get no XP. So it's not about your character just hitting less harder. It's not about you shooting less fast. There's no stats that are modified about your character when it comes to that setting. The only thing that's modified is how much XP you gain.
So default level down scaling. If you are playing with low level party members, level down scaling will be applied to your character.
Okay, so define level down scaling. Define level down scaling. Because you're doing all that and saying all that, I just said that. So define down scaling.
It is going to nerf your character.
No, now you're making a narration. I'm asking you to define it. If you have it.
Narration, I'm just flat out saying it's nerfing you. And you're about to go on the narrative. You can disagree, but don't tell me I'm doing that one. I'm just telling you a straight up fact. It's nerfing you. Now you go dispute that with yourself.
It's not about disputing it with myself. If you say it's nerfing it, it's fine. No one was disagreeing that the thing isn't nerfed. It's what's nerfed about it is the discussion. Right? Like, by reading it, it doesn't actually define the settings or stats that are modified, right? I'm just laying it out there that your character itself isn't being nerfed. Like Andy fighting that boss solo versus you in there, if you go in there and stand in the corner, Andy's going to have a harder time fighting that boss. He's not going to be able to kill it. But if he goes in there solo and fights that boss, he's going to have an easier time killing it. You go in there and fight the boss, you're 10 levels higher than the boss. You're always going to be able to kill it. Like, I don't understand. You're going to get no XP for killing that boss. So if you unclick the setting that's clicked, you're saying what? The boss then gets easier? Ooh, I found another sapphire ring. That's all I'm trying to understand. Because there is a misunderstanding on my part, which is why I said what I said from the beginning. I do like the addition of the hunt, though. I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of like the mirror thing, but not as hard. Oh no, these things always kill me. Yeah, there's certain mobs, man, I really don't like. Those armadillo things, those things really be messing me up.
They nerfed the amount of a lot of those, actually. That's one thing they nerfed in the campaign. The little cool things, they nerfed the amount of them. And they nerfed the chaos. So they nerfed how poison and chaos is to make it basically slightly less weaker, like, and then they nerfed the creatures that hit it, you know. They did a lot of that. They were swarming though. Like in Act 3, when you get to that one area, it was obnoxious how many of them cool things would just pop up.
You're talking about the things that shoot at you or the things that roll at you? When you say the cool thing, you're talking about the thing that shoots at you or the thing that rolls at you?
The ones that shoot you. The
Yeah,
ones that
I'm
roll,
talking
they
about
nerf those too.
Yeah, yeah.
They not only do they nerf the how many they are, they nerf the roll, like how often they. Cause it's something they did something else.
Bro, that shit was so annoying in a tier 15 map. Like, you would literally come around a corner and fucking 9 of them will just roll at you and push you to the side of the map.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah.
And not only would it push you back, but it would, like, do half your fucking damage. And it would stack, too. So if one of them was hitting you and then the other one started hitting you, too, like, it would damn near, like, one-shot you from just... And you talked about it being a side scroller. That is one thing about all side scrollers is they have things that are constantly pushing you from outside the screen. That thing is like the hardest thing that pushes you outside the bird. And then they already nerfed the bird, so I'm cool with that. But that bird was impossible to dodge. Like as soon as you fucking spawned it in, that thing would hit you.
Right.
And that's
so
like,
I guess when
that's
they
absolutely
first
broken.
launched the Dawn of the Hunt patch, the werewolf was crazy because once you get to Cruel, like it can off-screen sprint at you, and the animation made it so that they just never stop sprinting. And so with the level, the health, they already nerfed the health, but the health was so high that like white mobs could come off-screen, chase you down, and no matter how fast your attack speed was, you could not run them, and their health was so high that like if you were a high DPS, if you were a glass cannon, basically, like
Goodbye.
you couldn't stop the shoot to hit them because they were so fast, and they would just they kill you. People was crying about that. They nerfed the werewolf now so that when it runs at you and it hits you, it stops and it can't run no more. And the only way it can run again is if you go more than X amount of meters away from it, then it can re-engage its run now. But it can't just indefinitely run no more. Which I think is gay. I think they shouldn't have did that. I think the indefinite run show is cool. Maybe they should have just nerfed the damage or something. But like, you know, the enemy should be on your ass, nigga. I don't think they should have just nerfed the difficulty. I don't think they should have.
So in the campaign I do, because I feel like no one should be progress stopped in a campaign when there's, you know, an infinite amount more content past the campaign. Because a lot of people do just want to get through here to get their character to level 100 or to level, what is like 70 to beat the campaign. So it's like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't think the campaign should be... If you don't have a sliding difficulty setting in the campaign, then you should just make it a little bit easier because of the amount of time it takes to run through both acts. Like, the commitment you need to develop a level 100 character is kind of insane. So I appreciate the fact that maybe they made it a little easier to get through, like the Trial of Sekima, or because like imagine, bro, like having to go grind out 10 hours to find another Denbaria. Like, that's fucking whack. You have a hardcore mode, so you know, like, imagine playing casual and then thinking, oh, I'm gonna go play hardcore mode, and then it's actually hardcore mode. Like, you should never have it to where, I don't know, what percentage of people did you make that for? Like, when you were developing the game and you said, hey, we're going to make a hard version, right? Like, you know, Call of Duty has hard mode search and destroy. You get shot one time, dude, you're dead, right? No map, no mini map. You know, there's only a certain amount of fucking players. When you look at the player pool, like, oh, there's, you know, 1,300 players playing search and destroy. And then there's 80,000 players, you know, playing every other game. Like, why did you guys make this for these little ass group of people? Like, I mean, you got to have something that's competitive, because this isn't competitive, but
that's where I think about it. Like, I get the whole power fantasy, and I don't argue with that. For me, without argument, argue with this the engagement, right? I've played a million ARPGs, so I'm not just like when people be like, oh, I'm an expert at it. I don't care if you're an expert at it. Nigga, still, people have been playing these games since they were children. And with that being said, I'm solely talking about fun value. And it is fun to have a challenge. It is fun to have to sit up and be like, okay, like, no matter how good my damage is, like, no, these niggas about to, like, when I see them boys, I know I got to do this, that. Like, I don't believe, just like Jonathan was saying, that anything was particularly egregious as much as like the difficulty would spike really hard in certain things. And yeah, it slows your progression down. But I don't look at video gaming in a time sense, and which is what he was saying. He's like, his literal words, I care about what is fun. And so if it's not fun, then he said, I relent that I'm wrong, but I look at things in fun and engagement. So if I'm trying to make a game that's comboing, engaging certain enemies, I steamroll through other enemies need to, then I have to make that possible. But if you slow down all the enemies so that you could just choose to engage in combat, then people could just run and just roll through enemies, which is like every other ARPG, which is cool if that's what people want or streaming for. But that is not what the game that they have to make. You shouldn't be able to just run through the mobs you don't like and
But
fight
you
the mobs
can,
you
though.
do like. You shouldn't be able to do
The
like
game
they're
is
trying
like
to
that.
design a game that is actually engaging.
So when you say that, I don't understand where that fits. How does that fit with what you're saying? Because it is like that. Like, I can literally run through the current map I'm in right now and not engage with
Right, that's why because they scaled everything down. They made it so the
No,
stuff
it
they
was
had
like that before too, though. It was like that before too, though. Like that for me.
Yeah, but they had enemies they had certain enemies that would stop that. Like they're like they were way worse, and people would cry about it. That's the stuff all they nerfed.
Like I said, there's a few mobs that I've identified so far, and the presence of those mobs and their mechanic doesn't make the game any less fun for me. I don't care if the fucking vulture can swing 50 feet or 42 feet and I get to live, right? It's just what he does. The point that when there's 6 of them and you come up to them and they all say proximity tangibility recovers your mana flask and doesn't allow for you to go over 50%, that's not intended in the game. That's not about being difficult or not. That is something that is an overlay of random spins on the mob's techniques, right? And you can get a stack up of techniques that then makes that spot impassable. And unless you restart your game, those mobs are going to spawn with those same, passive skills or whatever, right? So you might get locked and you might be anecdotally crying about the specific scenario you're in, right? But the problem is that a wider base of people find that same thing happening and they aren't even aware that that's what's happening to them because they're just playing the game, right? They're just loading up. They get to a spot and they're not analyzing intricately what every mob is and what every mob does. They're just playing the fucking game, right? So those are the people that are absolutely going to fucking cry about not being able to get through this shit. And the point is that the mobs don't really give you a good heads up on the area or the types of mobs. The mobs aren't consistent with what they're weak or strong to. It really is random if one day they're strong to fire and one day they're weak to cold damage. So again, I think the point of the game isn't just for getting through the game one time. The point of the game is to get through with every single character twice, right? Because you got to go through cruelty. So yeah, I do believe they needed to lessen the content in the campaign in order to achieve that status. Because again, there's a whole game past the campaign. Like, there's no real campaign mechanics that exist that are, intricate or difficult compared to mapping. There's a few quests you got to go run and find stuff, but that's really the only questy kind of things you have in this whole entire game, which is a disappointment to me. It should have been more like Zelda.
But I think the campaign is most of the fun, fighting through that first difficulty. I do think it's cool that at the end game you can skyrocket. There shouldn't be that level of progression, but I don't think you should be able to define the campaign as this needs to be 7 hours long. That's basically what it comes down to.
But it is defined as that, though.
Game down, and if people say that it's a slog now, then...
No, I think people are still speedrunning the game. Like, again, when we take anecdotal... people's opinions, right? Those aren't even facts. It's factual they said it, but it's just their opinion, and I get that. I'm rocking with that. I'm not even rejecting it. I'm just saying that there's a time and place for it, and sometimes the people representing it are being anecdotal to what the representation is. Like as I sat through here and ran through the first act by myself, or the first two acts by myself, right? Like I'm just making my opinions about the same character I already played. And so are these people even playing the same character when they make that statement? Or are they playing a new character that they don't understand? Like again, you watched the video or you heard the message, so you understand those details more in full. I'm just hearing it as anecdotal, you know, and it's almost controversial to what I'm experiencing, is what I'm saying. It did get a little easier, I think, but is it because I played the game for 500 hours? You know what I'm saying? Or is it because it did get easier? I don't know. You tell me. The best thing to be said, though, is that as a newer player, I think you would experience the game now at a better pace than what you would last season, you know? I know the trade shop be going crazy, cuz. .20 charges per second? Okay.
Don't drink the water. The odds and ends we found in the jungle. It's a deal.
You know, and I'll say that I don't know, again, what those guys were doing, right? Like the people that the opinions that you're sharing or whatever, I'm not trying to disagree with them. I'm just saying that I know now what to look for. Whereas before, I spent a lot of time in the game, like stopping and clicking on items to see, well, what's this and who wears this and what's this do, you know, obviously just game experience, right? And so now, past just the intricate items, it's I also know like what items are actually good, you know, like what item is gonna do well. Yo, Andy, where'd Jake go?
I think he's like shitting on or something.
Alright. I didn't know if he said nothing, I didn't hear him. And you're like turned way low, so I can barely hear you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just...
Should be.
Yeah, you're good now. I turned you up. It's just singular people playing the game. You know, the way they play it, how they play it, what they're doing. It's all in tone of to argue that they know what they're doing. Or that they're doing it right and they're saying, hey, this is no longer the right way and no other way is the right way either. But like, for me, you know, it's been kind of a grind to get my items kitted up, and even when I find a new item to replace my items, it's even worse to kit that item back up, right? Like, I don't have Alva yet, and she doesn't have the trade shop, so I can't even really like barter shit for real, you know, to get regal orbs. Right. So it's like when you nerf the mechanics of the game like that, it does make the fucking campaign harder because everything is still there. Everything is still in the game. It's just it takes you harder to get there. It takes you longer to get there. So it's like once you unlock that stuff, you're right back to where you were at last season. And that's kind of the point I'm making, is that I don't want to have to spend fucking 9 hours, 20 hours in a campaign for every character to get to that level of actually being able to build a character. Like, because none of the campaign content is actually like strong content. Once you beat the game and you go back, there's no boss that you're going to struggle to beat. Like, even the lava boss. Like, I went back and instantly melted that dude. Do I think that's the right thing the game should do? Well, it depends. Are you going to give me a tier 15 boss with 10,000 times the amount of health than this guy? Because if that's so, then yeah, I should be able to go back to the first map and delete everybody, you know? But you're not going to get no loot. You're not going to get no XP. You're just going to waste your time farming. And that's a good thing. I don't think you should be able to get to level 100 by fighting, you know, the first level 1,000 times. It should just become you're being broke as hell for doing that. Okay, they got talismans now. That's what I'm saying. Like they got even more shit to like filter you through something different. Yeah, boy, I got 2 of them sapphire rings, cuz. You been getting anything from the shop? Huh?
No.
Oh, why not? You just being a broke bitch? That's good.
It's just like
Telling you. You got to get the overlay. Like, because I felt like whenever I was trying to use the shop, the first playthrough, the first time I was using it, it felt cumbersome, right? It felt like it was taking so much of my playing time away from trying to use this fucking website. But like when you get the app, you can just hover over your item and quickly see is it worth anything. So all the gold items that you're crafting or throwing away, like bruh, some of those could literally be worth like 10 or 20 exalts. You know what I'm saying? And right now, niggas need that shit, bruh. Like I sold an emerald yesterday within 10 seconds of posting it on in my inventory. Like, and I probably could have got more out of it. You know what I mean? Because of the price. You know what I'm saying? It being new and whatever it might be, one of a kind for real. I've been grinding the hell out of the so I got my helmet back, Andy, the crit helmet.
yeah.
I got it, but it's only a 39% chance. Remember that one I had was like 48 or something? Or 50, I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one I gave you was like 37. So I got that helmet back. And then that's pretty much the only thing that I actually have that's quote unquote like the samey, you know? But now that I've seen like 40 quivers that are like god tier quivers, like I know when I see something on the ground, like, oh yeah, that's a piece of shit, you know what I mean? So I probably won't spend so much time getting quivers this time. Or maybe I'll just be more efficient about it, I guess. Yeah, I wish the campaign had like timers or something where, you know, it kept track of your like speed through the game and you could get put like on a leaderboard or something because of it. Like that would be pretty cool. So like every time you enter the boss arena, but then you would have like the top 1,000 people.
They have leaderboards for hardcore.
They do?
Yeah.
Is any Rogue Exiles yet?
So,
I finally ran into my first 2, and I ran into them back to back, bro. It was actually some of the most fun I've had in this game, because it just was random as fuck. It was like a boss battle that just popped up out of nowhere, and I'm just like, I walk into an area, and it just, a name pops up, and I'm like, where the fuck is I'm fighting through these mobs, because there's a shit ton of mobs, too, and there's just this boss name, and I'm like, I don't see no big creature nowhere. I'm just so confused. And finally, I go to the room next to me, and there's just a person standing there. And I'm like, huh? And then I like walk up to them, and they start fighting me, and I'm like, oh shit, it was a fucking witch. And I fought them for like 2 minutes. It was a pretty good battle. They were doing all kind. It was a long fight, and then at the end, they dropped their kit like some Call of Duty shit. I'm like, okay, that was real fun.
yeah.
And then the second fight was way harder, bro, and it was so much fun. Yeah, it was a ranger. He popped up. And he was popping potions, laying down acid on the ground, dodging through the areas, bro. I fought this dude for like 6 minutes straight, but I was just like studying him, knocking him down, fucking, beating his ass, and then he just pop a potion or like get out of it somehow. And at first I couldn't even get his health down. The first like 3 minutes of the fight, I could barely get him below 20%. Like he just was like, I don't know, good defenses, high evasion. Like I'm just jumping and stunning. But when I finally start like stunning and knocking him down, and that's when it started. You know. So yeah, that was actually one of the harder fights I've had. Like, yeah, that needs to happen more often. That was fun. You know. And I got a unique farm from the witch. It's operating good test. It's called Light Spring. Pretty nice. Let's do all those.
Shit, you should sell that. You get like 10 exalts for that, bro. Like, don't even put nothing else on it. Just with the +3, that thing would be pretty expensive right now.
60% of the maximum life when you pass the spell. Very nice.
See, last time out, I ended like with like 600 or 700 transmutation orbs, and what I felt like I didn't do, and I could have did it earlier on, was like, yeah, you can like just walk past white items or whatever, but a lot of times, man, you can craft some pretty good shit quick for cheap that you know, is worth trading off if you can get like a +2 skill on on anything, you know what I mean? Like, you get a helmet that's white and you get +2 melee on that helmet by adding a blue chip to it, like, you might be able to sell that in the market. And before, we were kind of late to the party on the market, you know, it was really saturated, but now there's a good chance you could kind of flip some shit.
How goes the jungle? Another day, another treasure.
Bro, I'm hot on that ass for a 20% movement speed boot, bro. They will not let me have one.
Plus 20%, oh, that sucks.
Like I said, I know what to look for now, so I'm like, that's one of the things to be geeked about, you know?
One man's trash. Watch the snakes.
Andy,
Yeah.
what are you selling?
Buying, being indecisive.
I grow stronger by the moment. For real, I'm gonna catch you guys before the end of the night, honestly. We'll be able to run some shit together. I was trying to catch up instead of making someone try to come back, but it's pretty easy, so.
Anitra. Huh? Oh, I was gonna say, I thought I heard someone in there. I didn't know who that was. Sounded different. With a bigger man.
You know, one thing too that I don't have this playthrough that I know I had last playthrough, I had like a 40% more loot rarity last time, and I think that definitely plays into the amount of shit that I was finding last playthrough, because I was like prioritizing that earlier on, having a higher loot rarity on my items.
They couldn't loot rarity off a lot.
Chaos spell skills.
Ew.
Level 10 decompose. 50% increased spell damage.
Are you a spellcaster, Andy?
I'm not.
Let's give the hives a wide berth.
What's your main weapon?
Spear.
That's right. I'm looking for any crit chance bows.
I fear not the elements. Charged arrow.
Found this bow with 333 lightning damage.
Under the clock.
This is a tier 4. It's the only thing it has on it. Projectile speed.
I suppose I should talk to Alva about this. The Val used this. I've never seen it.
Shoot, Oswalders.
Keep up the search.
There's a cultist bow. It has 21% crit damage bonus.
See, the cultist bows, I never found like the way to play that. I think that's supposed to be a chaos damage bow. Like you're supposed to
And it's
stack
supposed
like
to be,
bleed and
like poison,
poison,
right?
yeah.
It's supposed to,
yeah, I think that's the one you're supposed to stack bleed and poison on. Like,
yeah, because poison's chaos, you know,
right.
damage. That makes sense.
So, you know, when I was playing Poison, I never even used that bow because I never found a good one of those bows. I mean, I found a couple that had a couple cool things on it, but those kind of are rare as far as, like, the bow goes, but I think that's truly what those were made for. The devs, like, we're going to put this in here as some secret sauce.
So you have to let my tribe has spoken with a generation.
He said,
We see
a pretty nice amulet in the guild chest. Gives 10 spirit, 14 crit, hit chance, 25 fire resistance, 8% rarity, plus 8 strength.
Bro, I'm salty because I had an amulet in the trade that I was trying to buy that was similar to this, and it was like plus 50 spirit and 35% crit chance. And they wanted like an exalt or 2 exalts for it or some shit, but the nigga never replied. So this is cool. Like, I don't use
But the fire resistance on there is fucking.
So
real good.
the way I kind of look at like the amulets and stuff is I only want one with spirit on it is if it gives me in increments of like 15, 30, or 45, you know, because having a 10 amulet doesn't actually like doesn't really do anything for anybody outside of
If you want to put certain sport gems on, there are certain sport gems that are really good, and they're worth 10. So it's even while you're waiting to get more.
Yeah, for
does not
sure.
elongate having 10.
So let's see, I'll show you what the thing says on something like that.
Herbalism is like the one, you know.
Yeah, no. Feel like that. So 11 spirit. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to change a lot of these because can't find nothing there. Yeah, I would say that's worth like 5 exalts. You probably get 5 exalts for that, Jake. That's what I'm saying though, like that's worth it. Do I need that? No, I wouldn't. No, I don't need that. My the one I'm rocking right now, it doesn't give me enough to do anything. That's what I was pointing out. Like, so 14% increased crit chance would be like 0.14 times 5, right? So it would be like 0.08% increased crit chance, you know, total. So that's not even, you know what I'm saying, a lot, but I'm using a Dex and Intelligence character anyway. The 25 fire resistance is pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? But that's probably the best thing about it is the 25 fire resistance, honestly. What kind of amulet are you wearing?
My name is disgusting, nigga. I got my amulet out the shop. And this is one of the best items I probably ever got out of the shop before. Look out here, I'm about to put it in the guild chest next to the other one. And it's my baby. I upgraded it. It started with just the 15 spirit, and I upgraded it to that.
Oh, that's not bad. Let me see what it's worth. What'd you pay for it?
I paid like whatever where you randomly craft it, however much that costs.
Oh, I thought you said you got it out of the shop.
I did, out the store, out of a.
Okay, I was thinking about the trading shop. You're talking about a vendor.
I made this boy. I just got it out of the blue and upgraded it to this.
So the best way to know if you got like a good thing or not, just hit Alt. For whatever reason, the spirit gets like lower tier assignments, but 37 spirits nothing to shake your head at, and 52 spirit total is pretty good. You know, it's actually got double high rolls on both of. It got double high rolls on both of the spirits, but the thing is the other things that it got, they're all tier. They're like real low tiers. So when you go to like Chaos Orb these things, when you have low tier stuff that's good, it's actually bad. Because then they become a higher chance of it getting Chaos Orbed off, you know. So like if you ran a Chaos Orb on that, like the chance of Spirit getting removed would be like 70% right now. And if you put on that the little modifier thing that you can buy from the shop, then it says something specific like it will remove the lowest tier, lowest roll thing that you have, right? So if you roll like tier 3 and tier 4, you know, say you were re-roll that and get like a 25% lightning resistance and it'd be like a tier 4, it would likely remove the spirit. So like that's when they say like what makes the item good or bad is also the state of which the assignments of the prefix and suffixes are on the item. But, and it's also relative to where you're at in the game state, right? Like, since you're going through the map the first time, the second time, or whatever, that's probably a fucking dope-ass amulet. But, like, the amulet that I have on the other server, that is a god-tier amulet. Like, that is worth divines, you know what I mean? Whereas this is worth, like, maybe 5 or 10 years old type shit. So, I've been looking for an amulet, too, man, like something like that. But it's just how much time you're gonna spend, you know, in the game to and you gotta have the shit to get it too, right? Like I don't want to spend all of my exalts. I will if there's an item that's something that I know will carry me to many boards, you know. Then hell yeah, it's definitely worth it.
Keep your eyes sharp.
Do you guys need any artificial artificer's orbs?
No, I'm good for now. Why did you have like a ton of them?
Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Nah, so like I always go through. I got 5 extra ones right now, but I always go through the shop at every level I'm at, and I buy all the items and salvage them or whatever. So I usually have a bunch of them. And now that I got my whole kit put together, you know, I'm not about to find just 5 items like right back to back that need artificial orbs on them. I still need armor scrap for like 1 or 2 things I got that I picked up. I need to get those upgraded. I'm also looking for one more iron rune. Because I had so much of that stuff on the other server, like I thought it was annoying. Like, it shouldn't be just that you don't pick the stuff up, but also that, you know, stop giving me the lower tier stuff and give me a higher tier thing. Like, give me an orb of alchemy instead of transmutation orbs. Like, or let me be able to fairly trade them, you know? I would be taxing, bro. She be wanting like 500 regal orbs for fucking a divine or something, just something weird. Like, I don't have that. Can't you take like a part trade, you know, like 3 of these and 5 of these? Like, yeah, right. Nah, it's cash only, dog. No cash app, no big like, yeah, the trade chat gets on my nerves. I gotta turn that shit off, man. People be thirsty in the trade. Yeah, I feel like I'm killing shit. Like, the technique, the method is the same as it was, honestly. And I know I got shit items, so I can only imagine what it'll be like having better items. Like, I think if anything, they should have nerfed the Herald stuff. Like, I think that shit was way out of control. I got my Herald on right now, but it's like super weak. It's not even, I don't even think it's proccing like that. But I want to try some shit this time where my archer doesn't even use her bow. She's just a mage. She can use this spark technique. And I'm going to throw the balls of lightning down and throw the spark down as I walk. And I'm going to put the martial tempo and the movement speed booster on her or whatever. And just run around just sparking the ground and see how that works. Oh, I found another lesser jeweler's orb. Like, yay, what the hell? I had like 15 greater jeweler orbs on last server.
Bro, I'll give you.
I don't have the exchange rate yet. I don't have Alva unlocked yet. Trust me, I am trying my ass to get to that point because that is where I can snowball even faster.
Fury.
Like right now, putting items in the trade shop that have high quality or runes in them, like that shit will actually get you some moolah. So being able to trade for the white stones and stuff is just so much easier than fucking finding them. What about died? Chaos damage.
All day, dream about all day.
I did die to chaos damage. Come on, man. I fucking was like full health. Not only did I die to chaos damage, I died to a fucking unique on my screen that I didn't pick up. Which it was a fire quiver, so I really don't care because it's a piece of shit. It's the worst fucking quiver in the game. don't really die to mobs too often, but I was saying this earlier about the chaos stuff. I haven't really seen a lot of chaos damage yet, and I just seen someone got murdered by it.
Storming arrow.
This guy had exploding like perimeter and slowing stuff, and yeah.
Got no pack space for that.
Hey, still have my lesser jewel orb though. Kind of wonder if there's gonna be like a floodgate of like loot, like once you finish like the third boss in the third act or whatever. Like, oh, you just start getting everything all of a sudden.
What do you need?
I need a storm ruin.
Storm, lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I got one.
Lesser storm
Some
or
pretty
I
things.
got a lesser. I just want a storm ruin. I got 4 lessers.
I do not, sir.
there's some bad jewels, man. Fucking suck.
What kind of jewels do you need? I picked up
Of course,
7
I
of
found
them.
one that gives me, shit for crossbows. I mean, fucking crossbows.
I did too. Oh, you said you need for spears? Let me see what I got. Yeah, I got 10% evasion rating, 3% increased attack speed with spears. I got that's probably the best one I would have for you. Or actually, I got 5% increased area of effect, and you gain 1 rage on melee hit. I don't know if you're doing rage. But I picked up a god tier sapphire. It's got kind of high rolls for increased elemental damage, increased minion damage, increased minions attack and cast speed, and then it has 19% high roll, increased crit spell damage bonus. Like this, I put it on there for 1 divine, nigga. Like, let me get paid, bro. I'll let you have this evasive emerald. It's got 3% increased attack speed with spears.
What else does it have?
10% increased evasion rating.
You need to get one of them artificial orbs.
I got you.
Interesting. Increasing rating 2 rounds. I should probably use that.
You got mine. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we about to be making shit go bird, nigga. We about to make shit go bump in the night, cuz.
Alright. So I have 75% fire resistance, 70% cold resistance, 75% lightning resistance, 0% chaos.
Bro, I haven't even got to that point yet where I could even start worrying about that. It sucks. Like my kid's so low class that I can't prioritize anything right now.
I got a passive that lets me cheat, or not a passive, but a ascendancy.
But yeah, when you guys, I don't know if you need this. I've said this several times, but what I do is I go back to the beginning, clear fell every level, and I buy up all the little $400 things that got slots in them, and I break them down. So like anytime that you ever just need one, like you can probably generate one just by running one map and picking up anything that has slots on it. Honestly, I do that for quality too. Like I go to the search bar and just type in quality at the bottom, and then go through each one of the little vendors or whatever. I'll do that for like spirit. I'll do that for speed because I want like attack speed or movement speed because nigga, I'm telling you, when I go through here on the shops, like I really be abusing like the game mechanics because fuck this shit, man. This game's too hard not to be. When I say hard, it's based on your ability to maneuver through the statistics, right? Like, remember when we were having conversations last season about how much it would cost to like redo your character like through the skill tree, Like if you hit a money cap, like and you don't have a strat to like farm money, then you're not gonna be a person who can explore different character builds within your own character, let alone having several characters, right? Like, so you do have to know how to do the farms. Like, if you don't know how to do the farms, then you're not grinding out multiple characters. Ain't no fucking way, because this shit's so limited. Like, even in my last playthrough, I remember having to go and exchanging Exiles for Regal Orbs because of how rare Regal Orbs are. You know what I mean? Like, if you ain't doing that, then I don't know if you're exploring the game in a way that you're seeing all the options. I mean, there's always the complaint about the process, but you still have to go through the process the whole way and get to the end and say, yeah, at level 60 it wasn't worth it. At level 80, this is the only way to do it.
That nigger rap, nigger rap.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to level like 51 so I can start using cast on crit. I think that's when it's really going to be like popping for me. So until then, I've just been stacking as much like attack speed and movement speed as I can, because it seems to me that in each level of character or like level of difficulty of boss, like it'll say like level 22, level 33, whatever, like the mobs are associated to that same level. So they all have a certain amount of damage or health modifier to them. So if they all have a base 100 health and then multiplied by 33, right? Some weird math is how they come up with the health of all the mobs. It doesn't really matter if you do 10% more damage or not. Like, you may or may not be hitting them hard. If you're hitting them faster, though, then you're just hitting them faster. So I don't know. I always went with when I first started the first season, I went with like max damage, 10% this, 20% that, and my character capped at like 2,000 DPS. Whereas when I went with attack speed, it would have a little bit less DPS, but then you would notice it would start stacking faster. So I wish the game had a better way of like, I wish they had like an attack dummy or something you could load up to where you could like do your combo and see, like even have different mobs that have different resistant levels. Like you could have a mob that's like 1,000% resistant to see if you're armor break is working to see if your penetration's working, you know?
Yeah, they said they didn't want a trading dummy, which is good.
Because if I'm in solo hardcore, like the last thing I want to do is load up, you know, my character into fucking as a fire character or something and run into somebody that has, you know, fire resistance. Like that's not okay, right? Like I'm just gonna have to log out and log back in, but you're breaking the game mechanics by doing that. You're cheating. So you should at least be able to know, like, well, what will happen if I fight this? Will I die for sure? Because this game has, that's the thing. Like, if the monster's too high level, like, you're definitely gonna die, dog. Like, it is not easy to cheese out bosses in this game. Like, the areas are too wide open. You can't really pin them in a corner. You can't really hide from them behind stuff. Like, you have to be able to fight the boss if you want to beat the boss in this game.
I tried to do so. Keep your eyes shut.
Bro, give me the 20% movement speed, bro. Like, why are you hating? That's actually pretty good. 36% increased damage with bow skills. Let me start finding some broken shit, bro. Let me tell you. You know, 99% of items are bad, but boy, when you find a good one, don't throw it away.
Fury!
You know, I wish this game had like potions that you could like make, right? Like, so as you kill all these mobs and you can get like the remnants of their bodies and stuff or raw materials. I wish it was more of a crafter game where you could walk around with like speed potions or XP potions or you know, resistance potions or something, right? Like pop that fire potion on that lava guard, you know what I mean? Like that would be pretty dope to have a crafting station like that.
Makes the game sound so squishy.
Huh?
So this bleed build makes the game sound so squishy. Splash, splash, splash. Everything splashes.
You sensed it too.
Is that what you're playing as a bleed build?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll keep my eye out for sure.
No, it's more of a secondary thing. It's something I'm stacking.
I picked up this, what did it say? It said it, instead of, I'm not looking at it. But it was talking about igniting. They might have said instead of igniting it, it poisons them. I guess I missed the spirit or something. I don't know. It's weird. I will say when you run up on like Devlin and he wants to do the spirit thing, if you go clear the mobs before and then go back to him, you don't mess it up as often, like, because it'll keep running even if you were trying to fight the mobs in your path. And if it gets too far away for too long, it'll like despawn process will happen. I mean, I don't know if you're running through one-shot mobs right now or not. I haven't seen your playthrough recently, but
Explodey, explodey. You know, mobs, I absolutely destroy mobs.
Easy trophy.
I'm actually good at it.
Rather not break my back. Fury.
That's I got some boss flasks.
Except for that.
Got a life and a mana. Yay.
Should go chaos.
I shall overcome.
Chaos. So. Huh? No. No, ma'am. See, my special cookie is not the full cookie. So when I'm sad, I don't know how to fix it.
Hey, a level 2 support gem. What the fuck? They do exist. Bro, get out of here. Feels like a raptor chasing me and bucking me up against the wall. Like, get off me. No, literally, like, can you out DPS this raptor or are you gonna die, dog? It's you or the raptor, cuz. You wanna lose your parasaur, nigga? I'm actually gonna die. No, I'm not. You die, shit.
Easy trophy.
Up to live would take you to great heights. But you die. Crowbar? No, it's not.
Rather not break my back.
So, yeah, I left your ass and you standing in the fucking camera for like fucking 30 minutes off.
I'm over here trying to put the sauce together.
Shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
I'm saying I could have been progressing myself, which is what I
You should be doing that. We should meet up at mapping, bro. What are you talking about? That's the whole point. Because already you don't want to share loot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kill a boss together and it drops one exalt. Like, there's always going to be the argument of what the fuck, right? Like, so just get to that point.
How can
If you get stuck on a boss, yeah, like, jump in and help kill it down. But past that, like, running with somebody, it's hard to split the loot up, honestly, fairly. Hey, this right here. Who's running armor and energy shield? Huh?
Jeremy is?
I'm only running armor.
This has 209 armor, and it's got... Yeah, this is actually a pretty good piece of fucking armor, man.
Chest piece?
Yeah. See, it's got 250 armor, and 90 energy shield, 16 max life, 11 intelligence. It's got life gen, 8 cold resistance.
Well, the problem is that my chest piece is a center of all my bleed shit.
How?
Because it has a skill on it.
What's the skill
that
set?
gives you 50% chance to inflict bleeding on hit.
But are you stacking bleeding anywhere else?
Yeah, everywhere else.
Oh, okay, okay. Say, cause just bleeding someone only drains their life like a very small percentage per second.
There's a Herald for Blood now.
There is.
Bleeding.
Burn of Blood, and I also have aggravated bleeds through my jagged ground. Every time I jump on people, like, it creates jagged ground, and if they start bleeding, it just immediately becomes aggravated bleeds. It's nasty. It's pretty squishy over here because everything's gonna squish. Oh shit, it's fun. That was really good.
Don't drink the water. I tried to use that. Don't eat anything colorful.
You guys find any divine orbs yet?
It's all, yeah.
Huh?
I'm trolling.
It's slightly fucking believable, bro. Like the loot has been,
Regals are what's
yeah.
scarce.
So, even Jonathan said in the interview, he said it was never really meant to be something that you should just find like that. He said people who have problems finding regals aren't engaging with the crafting system.
Well, the problem with your crafting system is it's shit.
Yeah, and it's not intuitive, and the person wouldn't know that, and so they just, especially coming from my season, like regals are dropping like candy, and all of a sudden you want me to go selectively, like niggas don't know that.
I can go, currency exchange and one exalt and get 100 and some regals and just be straight forever.
No, yeah. If you don't know that, you're gonna have a hard time grinding. But in the early game, you don't even have alphas, so you can't even fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, even if you find like a good unique or a good item that you can craft or whatever, you can't really do nothing once you sell it. Like, not what you should be doing. You should be, like I got 2 glass blower things. I ain't using those until I find the 1200 mana flask, because why? Why waste them? You know how expensive those are to buy those out of the shop once you do get the god tier mana flask? Like, no, I'm not. I'm not even gonna do it. Yeah, I wasted a lot of experimental crafting last season. A lot of raw material, man. And they got me for my paper. And then Andy was like, "Oh, I just bought 300 regal." I was like, "What now?" Shit. I had like 70 or 80 fucking Val orbs last season. Never. I do feel like once you get to the latest tier, because even in tier 13, I wasn't getting like really cool drops, but boy, when you load up a level 80 tier 15 map, I've had bosses drop double uniques. Like that'd be crazy, where I found 2 divines on one map once, like, but not until I hit the higher tiers.
He looks like he wants to kill me.
He should be to make the matter. Shake, shake, shake. Can you roll in? Shake your body right.
Fury!
Jump into the line. Work your body like
I mean, I'm using 2 different things this time that I wasn't using last time. Before I was using my cast on crit, and I would use ball lightning and orb of storms that shoots out of my cast or whatever. Now I'm able to use my mouse to key those things. So I have orb of storms on my mouse button, and I'm using this other thing called voltaic mark, and because I didn't really have space to use it before, now I have space to use it on my mouse. So like it basically just wrecks everything. Like even like so I can pick the boss and put the mark on him, or pick a mob or whatever. Either the weakest mob or the strongest mob, depending on what I'm trying to do to it. And it'll blow up everything around it when it dies. But it also makes it weaker to electricity. And I don't think I have like a limit on how many times I can cast it other than my mana. So like I can literally curse like a whole group of mobs if I really wanted to. Just stand there and curse them, whatever. But I wasn't using that last time, so like I was just raw dogging everybody with whatever damage I had. And then the ball of lightning or orb of storm would only proc when I critted enough. And now I'm using it. I think I'm using it more correctly than what I was before. That's what I'm trying to say.
Fury! I need more mana.
Temple of Kopak. And you got work tonight? Oh yeah, I'm catching you. I'm catching you today. You 8 levels. I'm on that ass, nigga. I think you'll probably get through the last boss before I catch you. Honestly, you're that close. I don't like certain boards on here because the world border is so hard to see in game. Get away from me, bro. Like the jungle maps, I really hate the jungle maps. There's a couple dungeons that I don't like either. The crypts, they're hard to see. So fucking hard to see. Like you get stuck in a corner just on some humbug, bro. Now I look over at my mini map and then I get distracted and I got 3 mobs pushing me because I looked over for a second like Shit do be annoying sometimes. Not difficult, just annoying, you know?
Stay light, stay alive.
We're gonna level up good.
Na-na-na, na-na-na.
Yeah, we fucked up. It's alright.
Still alive. Take your time. I'll take it.
I'm Mr. Lonely. I have nobody.
Don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water.
What do you need?
The altar of the sun.
Anything colorful.
I gotta have 72 intelligence. How much do I have? 72. Could I lose that?
Oh shit. Fuck, that was close.
I mean, but does it give me what I want?
Ever come close to killing me like that again, bitch.
Frostball gives me lightning warp. I don't care about lightning warp. That's kind of
Andy, I am still using that goddamn cloak you gave me, nigga. This thing is, you know, the boy. The beat stick. This thing is ridiculous. I need some quality gems. The quality is all the way up to its maximum, you know? More damn it.
Right?
What, the whitesmiths
What whitesmith?
or blacksmiths? White whetstones? Is that what you need?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro, you gotta hit the shop and buy up all the stuff from the shops.
Anything catch your eye?
No.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah, let me see.
You just gotta go every time you level up. Just go level to level and shop to shop. Oh yeah, we're about to get dangerous.
I'll stop again over and over me trying to eat my cookie, dude. I know what you want.
Oh yeah, we're about to get dangerous.
What you gonna do for me? Huh? Exactly. Nothing. Just be me. Did y'all even clean y'all room?
Take your time.
Exactly. No, it's lying ass.
What do you need? Don't drink the water.
Bro, I got a regal orb, and I'm just like, what do I spend it on?
Man.
Because I got 3 items that I'm wearing that are still blue. Like, what the fuck? I'm broke as fuck, bro.
I'll give you some. You need like 2?
Nah, I'm
I got
cool.
2.
Keep them. I'm just, you know what I mean? You're good. It just,
No, but if you need to smash them right now, I can give them to you.
yeah, I'm
No
gonna
problem.
smash them immediately. Nigga, like, no post haste. Nigga, like, no, even if it does no good, I'm spinning them hoes. What am I spinning it on? This one or that one?
Which one am I missing? I swear I hit all these effigies.
24, 13. I don't really care about that one. Well, what are you giving me? Are you giving me a suffix or a prefix? Yeah, you don't know.
There's no way that one little bitty dark spot's got a fucking hidden shrine over there. He's mad for it.
What are you still using, Jake?
That club.
That club.
Oh yeah, that two-handed club. You were like, I remember, you were like, I use one-handed masons. I'm like, bro, there's a skill that'll let you use two-handed.
I knew there was a skill, I just didn't think I would like the skill. I didn't think I was gonna ever want to use it. And I tried it out finally. I did the, with or without versus, and definitely. Okay, here it is. Goddamn, bro. Why did it not show up on the map until I found it? That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. I really don't even be needing a potion if I don't want to. The potions make things go faster, but
Potions?
either of them, mana or health in a lot of situations. My health regeneration, my mana regeneration thing is, enough. I got that ancient spirits ability. We just have built-in shit, Once every 3 seconds, it just gives me one fifth of my life back. That's why I was using that shield cut out debut range early on, because between this ancestral, whatever it's called, and that, this is this health bar looks really annoying. Get out of it.
It's only when you have the Herald of Blood on.
Is that what's causing it?
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. I don't know how much life I really have. Genuinely. No, he's knocking me out of my formation. No, sucks. You're a blood magician too. You got kidney spirit. King of the mist. King of the mist. Ooh. You're the one disappearing, right? Top bar keeper. Okay, wow. Right now, please, equally, or you took one out of 30 to 5% health and dollar. Piss me off though. to turn into a fucking Krampus. The Power Ranger Megazord and the thing. Let's see. Oh no! Since when could he do that? Oh, really? Can't even miss being able to petrify you. Sit your dumbass down. Spin it. Boom. Break it again. Spin it again. Break it again. Forge the hammer. Break it again. Spin it again. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Fuck with the bull and with the horn. Any game needs you work hard. Just the nigga with that bing, bing, bing.
What?
Take that.
Good game.
Watch your whole mouth, boy. You're on thin ice. Talk to Finn when you can. You know? Okay, give me a level 13 skill. I'll get that.
6 o'clock.
It is indeed. But you are correct.
What is that?
Theo, family. One number 13.
Jake, turn the music on, bro.
Turn it on. You don't want that. Yeah, I can do that. I'm at home alone. I can do that shit right now. Good boy.
Better not. Fucking right now.
Storm point.
Chance. I'm good. I know that great. Magnitude of bleed. That's what's up. That's what's up. Like the magnet.
Bro, I don't feel like I was ready for this fight, bro. What the hell? This dude's strong.
You're ready, bro.
No, this dude's like tanky as shit.
Tighten your butt cheeks as you dive, bro. If you're not doing that, are you really invested?
The Chimera is tanky as fuck, bro. Oh yeah, I'm about to die
You
for sure.
good?
Nah, I'm about to die for sure. This thing just, he won't sit still.
Someone that
Hey,
So, not really, because when he flies away, he's going to go perch himself, which is where you get the most damage. So it really shortens the fight. Like, each perch is a chance to do, like, you should be 30% on each perch, which, like, if you are, then you should be dead by each one of them, you know? But if you knock all the perches down, and he's still at, like, 50% health, you know, no. Then he's just going to start keep flying in circles.
Charged arrow.
No, this man's just too fucking tanky, bro, for real. Ain't even no reason for that. I got him. But this is the constant, 7 minutes of just pressing the button and flipping. Like, it do be kind of too much, for real. But we got him. First try, You know how we do. I don't think I can fit anything else on me. You guys know Jordan moved down to Florida, right?
Probably going to.
Yeah, he left already. I forgot he popped in on me the other day and said something to me.
Just trying to get him to play hard.
He jumped in our Discord one day. I was in there by myself talking to him. It was a couple days ago. He said that he had moved down to Florida. He said he would jump on eventually or whatever if he got a chance, but he's trying to get settled in and shit right now. I mean, we ran Arc a couple weeks ago. We was running pretty strong. We went for like 2 or 3 straight weeks in our own, We ain't no hoes, cuz.
I think I finally got it set up. So, I finally got the support gem on. I got the other, what's it called? To get the third for my Elite Slam. So, the combo is, I got the chest piece on that gives 50% chance to bleed. When I Leech Slam, it's a hit, so it counts as a hit, so it can inflict the bleed. I put the first blood on it, which just gave me a 100% increased chance. So basically, every time I leave, when I land on people, as long as they haven't been touched yet, it's going to just be a guaranteed bleed. And then I have the jagged ground on it, which creates jagged ground under me for 4 seconds. Then I got the passive that says that if an enemy is on jagged ground, you have to 20% chance to make those bleed to aggravated boosts regardless. Then I also got the helmet on that says that whenever I crit, 20 aggravated hits on my I aggravated boost on my critical hits too, and I have a effect that boosts my crit performance at the peak of being able to do this boost, when I got the Heritage Flood, concentrated effect on it, the brutality. Oh, I didn't know that Arrow of Blood explosion had a chance to create aggravated bleeding as well. Okay. See?
Yeah.
Fury!
You didn't know that?
No, I knew that it did bloody explosions and did explosive damage, but I didn't know that they had.
Well, I mean, that's what all the heralds do, right? Like the herald of
Yeah,
lightning,
see,
shock
the
shield.
warrior tree basically is where all the area effect shit is. Like, the most area effect you can get is in the warrior tree.
Y'all seen some pretty crazy shit.
I can imagine you get that blood explosion, like, the whole screen, bro, that'd be crazy.
Oh no, I'm about to go see now. Oh shit. I need a level 13 skill.
You're a hunt, are you? We're wearing it down.
Need some
Don't
spirit
let
gems.
up. Take a shit.
I just hit this level, so I should be getting one soon.
I really do like the music this playthrough. I don't know if they changed it, but I've noticed the ambient music in the background is so good. Like, it might have been that way the whole time and I've just been ignorant to it, but like, I'm really enjoying
No,
it.
it's different.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's really ominous. I just found a unique two-handed mace. This maims on critical hit, but it slows your attack speed, but it gives you a plus 15 critical hit chance, so it's got a 20% crit hit chance. Like, that's pretty fucking good. To have a base 20% crit hit chance. This two-handed, or this Great Club. It's a unique. It don't look like it's worth anything, honestly. An alchemy shard, or like an alchemy. I mean, it's got a pretty good roll though. 17 to 24 seems to be like high tier roll. It's actually kind of 17's higher, but yeah, it's mid. Nothing I'm gonna use.
Fury!
Don't lose focus.
finally use electrocute now. That's gonna be big. Oh, are you using commissary?
Oh, me?
Yeah,
No.
you should
What's
be
it
using.
do?
You should be using that. It says ailments inflicted by supported skills have 30% increased magnitude if you're inflicted with that ailment when you're inflicting it. So like if you bleed yourself, right, and there's a unique that will bleed you when you do something to someone else. But the
Yeah.
point being is that there are very few things that increase your magnitude in your skill tree, and even less of support items. So the fact that you could stack, the ability to bleed yourself for 1 tick per second, and then take 30% more of that, which would be zero point 0.3, right, to someone else, and then you can stack it even further. Like that might actually be a really good thing for your build.
I got, there's a helmet in that does that very thing.
Well, it would stack with that, right? So you would want to use that with this.
That's what I'm saying. You would need that in order to even proc the commiserate. Is what I'm saying. It won't even, because you got to bleed yourself.
No, yeah, that's the point I'm making. Like, so you would get whatever benefit from that you're speaking on, which is a random roll, which is whatever. I'm just saying. The strat though would be to magnify your ability, not just to have an extra. Because you can have 10 of something, right? Like you can have a bleed, a poison, electrocute, but like if it's just a baseline normal summon, nigga, well, it's dead. You know what I mean? Like that don't work. But if you're able to magnify it or multiply it, then
That's what I'm saying is that if I put the helmet on, every time I hit, I take damage, which would proc the commiserate
right,
to get 30% more damage to my bleeding.
right, which is what you're trying to ultimately do as a passive. You don't have to do anything in order for it to kill people, which is just a better passive, deeper passive.
Yeah, I don't know any other way to proc a bleed on myself, but that makes it so that every time you do a hit with a skill, you take blood, which is cool because my resonating shield, like, you just
Well,
beat
you
your
can
shield
only have
with
one
it.
stack of bleeding, right? So unless you have some ability to stack bleeding on yourself, yeah, you're just gonna reoccur the bleeding. So you're just gonna be looking at a 1 life per second life. You know what I mean? Like that's the cost of doing 30% more damage. Like that's free as shit. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, I'll spend my life points all day to hurt you. You know what I mean?
In order to boost my magnitude, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's the thing. It's gonna make the bleeds more potent.
But I don't know that that's actually gonna be affected to you. So like just because you're able to stack bleeding on your opponent doesn't mean like it should stack it on you. Because there's a skill that'll say like, you can stack +1 bleeding or poison or whatever. I don't know that actually will apply to you as well. Because that would be kind of whack if it did. Because like if
I
you're
don't
like,
know if it would even like stack. I think it would just be you apply the hit to your apply the hit. You take a bleed damage, which therefore gives you the buff to allow you to your next hit that inflicts bleeding will have a higher magnitude, a 30% higher magnitude.
yeah, read the card, Yugi, right? It does say it right there. The question that I asked or whatever. The theory that I presented, rather.
It'd be a cool little thing to experiment with. I just like my helmet. I would suck to have to go with my helmet in order to, which is, don't get me wrong, the other helmet actually, funnily enough, has an insane amount of fucking energy shield on it, so you're still getting defenses, but
Yeah.
just in a different way. It's something that can be viable.
I think I want to do electrocute.
Well, I think this is Crowbell. Bitch ass nigga. I know what trying to do when I see one.
I want to hit him with that for sure. So I'll take marker spark. Actually, I thought I would hit him with that. Hit him with diet. Okay, we're gonna go acceleration.
I hate how memes will set a standard for something and then just people only listen to. That's why streamers are in my opinion, kind of bad for a game. Because yeah, armor was shit season 1, maybe. I didn't play an armor character, but I could imagine without stacking it to its absolute height that it didn't feel good. But this, I don't know. On my warrior, I feel like tanky. I feel the same tank. I can just stand in the box and just fucking eat damage. And unlike any character I've ever played, and so they fixed armor is all I can say. Even if that is the fact, I'll still hear people talk about armor fucking sucks. Armor, you go watch YouTube, armor sucks dick. And it's does it though? Or did it? Because you're speaking in an affirmation, but in season 2, everyone's talking about how broken fucking warriors are, but not saying, is it because they got stronger? Is it because they buffed everybody and they're the only ones still, who didn't get touched? Or is it because they, kind of nerfed everything but buffed armor, which makes their sustain better? So they're not really any stronger as much as they don't die in 3 seconds anymore, Playing a warrior, I did play a warrior for a little bit in the first season, but I only got to level 35. And the one thing I really noticed is that, nigga, the whole entire time I felt like no matter how much armor I had, I was just not able to stand close to shit because I was just getting fucking wrecked, And that is the opposite of this warrior. This warrior just be face tanking everything. Nigga. Which made me glad that because when I first made a character, I'm I'm gonna go warrior, fuck it. But I'm not gonna have to be forced to go two-handed with the seismic slam. There's no way they made sword and board good, Trying to go sword and board. I love sword and board. It ain't gotta be the strongest as long as it's viable. I'll play sword and board because it's fun. That shit feel low-key broken. I'm beating Crowbell's ass, nigga. This is just... Nigga stun me. Jesus Christ. So there's something very strange that I do not understand about bleeding. And that is so when you start to bleed an enemy, they'll have, let's say I'll call it a magnitude bar at the end, that a build-up bar. And it looks like they still have life, but you don't have to get to the end anymore. You just need to get them to the bar that's there. But then what's the point of the rest of the bar? Is it to signify?
Because
So
there's
is the bar
the skill.
signifying?
There's a skill. Well, it's for the spear. I can't click. But it's kind of like um, it's a teleport kind of. It's like a blink skill. Not a blink skill, but like a skill like I can jump towards that person. Like that person is bleeding and it has that secondary like blood thing. Forever. However amount it has on it, I can hit that skill and go right to him, hit him, and it'll do a blood explosion of the amount of the threshold that was on.
So I need it's a payoff. I need to do the payoff. I'm not getting my payoff.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
So I need to find a way to proc that then. Why? How do I proc it? Is that only something that I'm priming for you and you need to proc it? Is it just something I might not be able to even proc but I could see?
I don't know. It might be only the spear thing. I don't know.
All I know is it's there. But here's the weird thing about it though, like that it's just on the end of the health bar then, and it makes it look like the enemy has more health. Why would you do that? I get it because it's the bleed mechanic and the blood is red, but I don't know. Maybe you should make it black, red blood with cracks in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it that hard? Because that's fucking confusing as hell. You know? It's a simple fix. See, that's crazy that I was wrong because it just felt like what was happening is like, because mine wouldn't make any sense. And what made mine not make any sense is like, does that mean that if I stop hitting the enemy, that their health will generate back up to that maximum threshold? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what it is? Or, you know, like, no, what you're saying makes it way more, you know, a lot more sense. But that's gay that I don't have anything to spend that. I want to spend it, you know. I'm generating all the bleed, nigga. I should be able to get the payoff.
It's got a cool name too. I think it's like Bloodhound or something.
There's probably a support skill, and there's got to be a way for me to be able to proc that. I hear the blood don't proc it. Like, come on. Like,
What are you trying to proc, Jake?
whatever he's talking about.
Sorry, I must have missed what you were queuing in on.
There's a thing when you start applying bleed to people to a certain degree, you'll get this bar at the end of the enemy's life. And what it looks like was that it looks like that the enemy has been like, you reduce their health, or like as long as you deal enough damage, that will be applied as long as you keep doing it. And if you kill the enemy, they'll die at that point. Like, you know, they ain't gonna die at the end of the second health bar, it dies at the first. But I thought that maybe as you applied bleeding, it was generating some like blood thing at the end. But Andy said no, it's just a payoff skill. Like when you do blood, it puts that there, and the Amazon just has a skill where they could.
Oh, it's like a let you know to try to hit it.
Yes.
It's like a visual calling strike, right? Like once they're below 30%, if you proc it, they die. So that's just a visual to let you know to do your thing.
Right. But it's crazy that I can do it, but I can't get the payoff. Like I don't have any skill that gives me the payoff. So,
It will let you like have a setup of skills that don't work. Like I've noticed that about this game. Like there'll be shit that's supposed to work together. If you don't have it, it'll still let you set it up, but then it'll never do it. Like when I was running cast on crit, I would put spells in there that just wouldn't proc because I didn't have enough energy to proc them or whatever. So it would be in there and it would say it would work, but as soon as it had the condition, it wouldn't meet it.
Look in the guild stash. I put the skill in
I'll tell you what, one of the best feelings in this game, one of the best loots in this game, period, hands down, is the book of specialization.
Yeah. Of course.
Always feels good when you get one.
You're in any place where everybody pays taxes.
Missed a turn or something. Yes.
First in line for lunch, probably. Giggles, though.
So that's gay. I want to consume bleeding, nigga. I like how it says that the skill cannot be ancestrally boosted. They knew motherfucking warriors was
Yeah,
fucking
yeah. I was
dexterity
gonna say
tested and
something,
fucking
but
did
I was like,
crap.
no,
That's
I'll
like,
just
it's
let you read it.
interesting. Hey, man, I never think I was going. I'm like, man, it's almost worth like going to some decks just to try this out to be able to spend my fucking shit, nigga. You know. Okay.
Cannot be ancestral boosted.
I ain't waiting for that.
Sorry, my boy.
They was like, we're looking at you. Like, hey, whoa, whoa. Fucking targeting me, dog.
Yeah, 'cause God forbid, a warrior take advantage of some other shit, like hunters take advantage of the sorceresses and fucking witches and everything else, and their builds. Why can't the warrior be, like nah?
So I can understand why, like, losing your attack speed is not that big of a deal. Like, looking at my build in a retrospective, like, looking at what I do, I kind of don't really give a fuck about my attack speed, for real, for real. And so I'm about to start investing into some of these skills. Like this, I want this lasting trauma because I think this is definitely for Keystone, 5% reduced attack speed, 30% increased magnitudes of ailments you inflict, 20% increased duration of damaging ailments, which are bleeding, ignites, or poisons. So this is definitely, all about what I'm trying to do.
All about what you're trying to do.
All about that, nigga. did that stuff yesterday. It messed up my kitchen. Made me mad.
Yeah, yeah, that stuff.
That purple stuff. Cha feels. Cha feels. Which makes it ironic that we went up the blood rush to get increased skill speed. Well, that's skill speed, so no, that's not the same as attack speed. No, I definitely want that still. Well, I say, can I take that away? Uh, Trying to steal some points. I need at least one more. Take this away. Lasting trauma. Here we go.
Fury!
We gonna get fucked up tonight.
I feel like I'm not playing my character correctly if she's not like, I'm out of mana. I'm out of mana. I need mana.
Bro, just get green peas.
Get that bitch some mana, bro.
No, I'm saying like I'm not using my character right if I'm not draining her to the, to the bone.
Right?
That was an interesting interaction.
Interesting.
I'm doing the chaos trial now.
Ooh. Scandalous.
This is just a warm-up.
Alright, when you clear an area, you come back and your shrines are not there no more. And now that is a bug.
When you do what?
You clear an area, you go back in. Actually, the shrine is still there, but the area is dark now.
The shrine. What do you mean by shrine?
So your map, as you go around your map, you uncover more areas. You can see it. And so if you leave and go to the encampment and come back, you're still gonna be able to see where you're at. Sometimes it'll glitch out. You'll leave and you'll come back, and the whole map will be black, even though you cleared the area.
Oh, well, that's because of how you're pathing through, right? Like, if you take a portal back to town, and then you take a waypoint back to wherever it is you thought you were going to go, you're going to reset that map. But if you jump in your portal, it will have that map intact still. So a lot of times what I do is when I get to a brand new fresh area, I'll go through it, and then I'll go through each door that it has. I'll go to the next waypoint and then go back to the door. That way, whenever I do complete that map, I don't have to complete it a second time to go to the next room because I already have that waypoint unlocked on my, ability to travel. Oh my god, there's a lot of fucking mobs. This is what they were talking about when they were saying white mobs were chasing people down and shit. Yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm getting farmed, dude. Man, you'd have to check the stream, like, for real. This is retarded. Wow, I wasn't able to kill everything. That was like the first time I had to wait till the timer to save me. This is not gonna be good. Yeah, if you jump through, like, say you're in a Clearfell and Andy's in Clearfell and he made a portal and you make a portal, you jump through his portal and then you start traveling, like, you're losing all your stuff.
But when the map reset, it resets, it respawns all the monsters. I'm talking about emptying the map, coming back, all the monsters are still gone, all the loot is still on the floor, but the map is no longer mapped anymore.
Oh, well, that happens when you like crash. That absolutely does happen. If you were to like, because I was doing that when I would in game, and I would like complete 80% of the map, and my game would crash. Oh, yeah, you're right. That I don't know if that's so much of a bug as just whatever is going on with the game.
I didn't crash, and they'd be doing it just every now and again. I don't think that's how the game is, you know. And
I haven't
places,
happened
I've had
outside of
times where
crashing because I noticed that.
I've had it where all the stuff is still like on the ground and everything, but then you go to click on it, you're like, okay, bet. Well, at least I can click on it.
Are you in an instance with Andy though? Like, are you in his instance or are you in your own instance?
I'm in. That might be what it is. Even though I'm in my instance, when we got in party, it changed instances.
Right. That's kind of what I'm suggesting is that it's not necessarily a bug as much as we're not mapping correctly, right? Like, not to say we're doing it wrong, but you know, min-maxing something, there is a right way to do it, right?
What's even worse because he did clear his zone, just like I cleared this zone. So it's not, you know, that's what makes it even weirder, you know. It comes back and it's like, well, yeah, I cleared it, and so I should have my checkpoints.
Well, that's kind of what I was expressing with when my PC crashes. I'm not taking the ways that I suggested, which is you have to take a portal and then you have to return to that portal. So when my PC crashed, I didn't technically take a portal out of the map, but when I reload, it's going to load me back at the last checkpoint or way, you know, which probably is going to be, you know, my hideout, right? But then once I load back into the thing, because it don't automatically delete your progress. This is the same thing as the chaos trial, right? Like if you are in the middle of the chaos trial and you turn your PC off, you shouldn't expect the dead bodies to still be laying there from 2 days ago, right? Like you should have the game recorded your progress that the enemies are dead, but I mean,
as long as you haven't like done anything to your game state, like you can leave, cut your system off, come back, and your map will still be up. Everything will be.
But that's because it saved it, right? When I'm saying like when you leave or crash or someone joins it, it just immediately opens a new line of timeline, like. So it's only going to take you back to your last like hard save point, regardless. I am so froze. Get away from me.
Yeah, there's been a lot of DDoS that happened between you and Arkansas. It was hitting real bad the other day. It's better for me now. Andy said he's still getting a problem. So. They asked the developers what they do about it and like what was going on. Well, actually, what the problem was with all the lag and the EU and everybody's freaking out. It just straight up.
Well, it's probably because they're not locking people's regions, right? Like if you're in Asia and you want to play on a U.S. server, like the game will let you, and that's not okay because you're just raising the ping for everybody in the server. Like,
he said there is no real way. Like by the nature of DDoS, no one can stop DDoS. Like,
well, yeah, because you're attacking someone's server. Like, the server's either going to accept it or it's not. Like if they accepts the request to.
Like asking how you would stop DDoS and it's like asking how you don't stop people from robbing houses. Like what the fuck kind of question is that? Like I don't know. Like I don't think we can solve that problem. You know, we can respond to it, you know, but we can't stop it.
Bro, I'm gonna lose the chaos trial because I can't kill this boss. Like, get over here so I can like do this.
Like if you restrict the human or like restrict the point.
Well, I had to straight cheese that. This is not okay. I'm gonna die.
Do that, and they still get DDoS too. And so even when you get the most, you know, we got every door monitored. You know, we got checkpoints. It's still getting.
I mean, who's is the person that actually gets to claim like this event is technically a DDoS, right? Like, so are people just saying they're getting DDoS, and maybe they're getting something else, and there is DDoSing? But I think people make the situation worse than, you know.
Anything popular, anything with a large population will always have all these motherfuckers doing it. Software that attacks servers, and that's it. And so, you know, the game is popular, people are mad or sad or bored, and so they just attack it, you know. And so all they can do is be on the back foot at any given time, you know. And they can see that their servers are being attacked. They know what's going on. I believe him when he says that, yeah.
I think streamers bring like the bad people, right? So like if they're getting stream sniped, they're getting DDoS, is it because they're getting stream sniped? And so yes, the capability is there, the possibility is there, but anecdotally, the people reporting this are who, you know? The streamers. But yeah, but I'm saying, are they the ones that are the ones getting, because I ain't got DDoS, bro. I've been sitting here playing this game and ain't nothing been like, oh, I gotta log off for 6 hours because someone's just crashing their servers. We ain't come across nothing like that.
I first started playing the season of the hunt, which, bro, you'd be running and then the game would just stop.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could just be server, like, you calling it a DDoS versus it being literally anything other than that is the point that I'm trying to make. Like, we attribute someone else's, what could be real facts, to something that is not necessarily factual. Like, while you are experiencing lag, you don't know for sure that was someone DDoSing the server, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that this is not like regular game lag.
Okay, so now we're trying to attribute, that's my point. We don't know that still.
Let me explain myself for you to do what you know.
That's the only thing I'm pointing out, right? It's not verified, is all I'm saying.
When you're on Arc, I know what it's like to be on a server that's being DDoS, nigga. Like, what
okay, but that's true, but at the same time, right? You could be on Arc and a nigga could have 60 million foundations on the other side of the map and you never see it, you never know about it, and then your server crashes and the first thing you say is, oh, you know, server's getting DDoS. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe there's something else that's going on, and it's easy to just say that it's getting DDoS, but yet the verification of it is where, bro, you're trying to talk over what I'm saying, but you're not listening to what I'm telling you.
Because you're not really listening. You're trying to argue.
No, I'm addressing what you're saying directly.
You're arguing with the developers, and I can corroborate with my experiences.
I get that. I'm not disagreeing that they don't have people DDoSing, bro. We've all both said that.
It was like you would run a certain amount and then the game would just freeze, but you know the game was still going on, but you were not in the game anymore, and then you just snap back in. It didn't feel like regular lag, and it felt like definitely the servers were being targeted with DDoSes. And that's what's funny is that I was like, man, what the fuck is going on? And then when you hop on and everyone's asking about what's going on, and the developers
projectile damage, penetrate lightning resistance. That's not bad.
That's what it is.
It has to be.
It's just regular lag.
Well,
what's the other thing? What would cause it?
Well, as it was being explained to you, you're rejecting any notion other than what the fucking streamers tell you when you watch the fucking game, bro.
You said a possibility that it could be something else, and it's like, what?
No, I'm saying that when people make these claims of shit being DDoS, right? Like, you don't know the condition or health of your server any given time that you're on it, right? Like, what is the condition of health of your server right now? You don't know that. So you could be at a 10%, like, because the fucking every kid just got out of school. And now they're just jumping on the game. Go ahead and talk, nigga, because you know you have all the answers. You don't want to hear what nobody has to say. It's fine. You're asking me to explain the position that I'm at, and I'm trying to do that, but you're not listening. So, what energy am I about to waste to talk about that? I'm not. It's cool. I'm not going to if you're just going to overtalk me. But I will make it be the point that I had a point to be made, and you just didn't want to listen.
Can't check the health of the server.
Exactly. So then, therefore, you can't check if you're being DDoSed or not.
Now, you can though. What do you mean you can't check the health of the server? That's what ping is.
Okay, well.
You can check your ping anytime you want to. It's going to tell you how your server's performing. So when you see this high amount of ping, what are you talking about?
So if you see a high ping, you'd be like, oh, DDoS.
No, not immediately. Not always. It could just be a lot of people, like you said. It could be peak time.
Right. So if you got a high ping, you're gonna get lag, right?
Huh?
If you got high ping, you're gonna get lag, right?
Yeah.
If you get DDoS, you're gonna get a high ping, right? So two things are kind of synonymous to each other. But what I'm saying is every time that you have high ping is not every time that you have a DDoS. Every time that you get DDoS, you're gonna get a high ping. So while one thing is always consistently true, the other one's not. And that's the point I was only trying to point out. So when you have people and you have these streamers who are claiming that, then I don't disagree that they aren't being DDoS. Because if they got 30,000 people who are salty at them and they're like, oh, I'm going to jump in this dude's instance or whatever and DDoS them, that is so anecdotal that, yes, it's possible, but no one's just spending their fucking time DDoSing a regular server for no reason. Like, bro, really? That's got to be less than 1%.
Entire EU server. They're DDoSing. It's on one whole ass server, and so if you got multiple singular servers, everybody's gonna feel it.
Right, I'm just saying when you start feeling high ping and you're just all like, oh, it's the DDoS, I'm just like, well, that's cool if you know that, and I'm not saying you don't know that, but like a person that was interested in that for real would look further into it and actually see like what types of attack it was and when it happened and when it occurred, and not just shake their head and say that they're always correct and hang their hat on how fucking smart they are that they noticed some high ping. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. You're attributing what these other people know as if you know it, and that's all I'm saying.
At some point, when you say there's a lot of robberies out there, and you say, well, corroborate that, and it's like, yeah, well, the police said that, and it's like, well, you didn't go check up every police. The police already said it.
But the streamers aren't the police, though, and that's the point you're trying to, like, straw man into, is that they're gods, and they're not. Nigga, they're just anecdotal people playing the game, just like you're playing the game. So all I'm saying is as the 600 hours I played the game, nigga, I'm never sitting here talking about, oh, we're getting DDoSed on a one-player game. Like, nigga, if you're experiencing DDoS to a point where it's a topic of conversation, is crazy. Because I don't feel like that's happening at all. No, I don't.
Do you think that was just regular lag that was happening?
What do you?
Oh, nigga, you're getting DDoS, nigga.
No.
Why don't you think that was regular lag? That's a good question.
Usually, like, lag is like very, like, it's not as long, right? Like it's
And it's
very,
just like in that very. It was almost like
you could pass like. Not like, oh, I'm sitting here, then all of a sudden, can't do nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm dying because I'm about to die because the boss is literally fucking clapping my cheeks and I can't do anything for like fucking 30 seconds.
And the only other thing.
How did he not kill you for 30 seconds? That's crazy. Because you would think within like 2 seconds of being stuck in one spot, the boss is just going to one-shot you.
Right?
So I know you've been on the ARC server and niggas was like, yeah, we're DDoS and shit, nigga. We're hitting slugs, hitting and everything. Your character running 1 second.
No, I actually believe that. If a nigga shows up in global chat and says, I'm about to DDoS this server, put your dinos up or lose your shit, then yes, nigga. But what I'm trying to say to you is that there are 9,000 active ARC servers, right? At any given 24-hour period, you're claiming or would claim that how many people are DDoSing a server. That's all I'm trying to say, because it's tantamount to that. Because yes, niggas do cheat, and yes, people do DDoS. No one's devalidating that statement. But the idea that we can't enjoy this game without people DDoSing is just streamers saying that shit, and they're probably getting more DDoS because of the fact that they're streamers, bro. Well, that's the context of the conversation I was having, so I don't know what you're saying.
The streamer
Past
said
that.
there was a lag, crazy lag that they could not explain that seemed
They didn't know, but people were assuming it was Jonathan himself during the actual live stream of with the developers.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with that, Jeremy. Nothing of what I said was going against that notion of what that man has said. All I'm telling you is that every time I get high fucking ping, I'm not about to just listen to the savant tell me that we're definitely getting DDoS, because that's not always going to be true, nigga.
Anyone will say that. I was saying you would have to look at the evidence.
But then how do you verify it? That's all I asked was, how do you verify if there's a DDoS? And that was all that was asked from that point on, is once we agreed that all things were true, how do we measure that?
We already put at that point, which is that everyone
Trial Masters Challenge? I can't. He whooped my ass.
To do something. You're not just going to stand there and say, I'm not going to even consider the idea of it. You're going to engage.
No, I would think that if you got DDoS, right, you'd be able to go to Reddit, and someone else that cared more about the topic would look into it and be like, yeah, this is the group that was DDoSing because they got permaban. Like, then there would be absolutely zero, like, argumentative speech for me on that, because obviously it validates that people are cheating. I'm only saying that, you know, in the time that I've played this game, like, I've seen no real, like, reason to believe that there's cheaters running rampant in this game that affects me.
You would need someone to be able to allege that. Meaning
of course, nigga, nobody's saying that. No, why are we still going back to validating cheating? Why is that the path of our conversation, to revalidate that cheating happens? We already agreed that it happens. So the notion of walking through people through questioning about did you experience cheating or not, like, I'm sure we all have, right? But we've all made it through the game without it. Like, you know what I mean? We played Art before where you can't log on for an hour. Bro, your base could be getting raided. There is nothing that's about to happen to you in this game if you get DDoSed, other than you might lose, you know, your exact moment in position.
And lose if you're hardcore playing versus the boss. While that shit was happening, bro, you get a fucking cloud.
Absolutely.
It's like 1 second you be doing.
That's why I said I don't understand how people are even playing hardcore, bro. Because if your computer crashes, or if it's on your side, you know, it lags, whatever, you just lose your character. Like, that's so dumb. Like, you can't even build, like, a specific character because it might crash your CPU, you know? Like, you don't want to take that chance and give it the extra level of, maybe you can only run 50 minions instead of 52 because it'll make you lose your hardcore character. Yeah, but for the developer to get up there and talk about that, like, yeah, our tech team is letting our servers get DDoSed is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one could stop. Like, the banks, any people, like, if you get targeted, anonymous, if you piss off anonymous, they'll start you off your service. Because you can't stop them. If you got enough people doing this, enough people flooding your shit, there's multiple ways to do all opposed to ambiguous terms. You know, like, we can all just have 3,000 people target a website that no one gets no traffic and flood the website to the point where we crash it at a physical time. You know, because now everybody's supposed to be fighting up for the Wisconsin, you know, election on this website today. Now we're suffering a DDoS attack. It doesn't take much. It's just a coordinated attack. But there's other ways to do it. You can have one person doing, I'm just saying that they're saying that it's a coordinated attack to the server attack. And it seems like that.
Did you guys get kicked off the server? Or did it, like, just stop or whatever? I mean, Andy said he was, like, lagged for like 30 seconds, but was like one instance, or did it just keep happening all day?
No, it was all day. It was like 2-3 days straight.
Yeah, because usually when someone like DDoSes a server, right, like, it can, like, cause bottlenecking in the server, and, you know, that's, like, the main goal. But, like, the ultimate goal is that you just shut the server down, because what happens is that server gets so many requests at one time, and it only has so much bandwidth, right? And then it starts processing every request at the same time, and then they have no safeguard to, like, stop accepting requests, right? So a lot of times the server will just either overheat or overwork itself and turn off. So someone has to either manually turn it back on, troubleshoot it, and then that's when you get the hey, we need 20 minutes to re-get the server back up. So when you say you get these like high pings, I mean to me that's more indicative of like the developer just being like dog shit and not having like their server ready to accept that much demand, and then just being like, yeah, people are doing this or that because they don't want to like, I don't know.
But you're being guarded, then you can't argue that. This is players who are attempting to play my game. These are people trying to flood requests in order to shut my game down.
A lot of times in the private, like privatized stuff like gaming, you're not gonna see that stuff happen live, right? Like, so if Call of Duty was doing a esports event and someone tried to DDoS it, right? Like you would see the immediate effect of the DDoS happening, but like they probably wouldn't disclose to you like, yeah, this is what was going on, you know. They would just say they had technical difficulties because it does take time to investigate stuff and to come out with the real truth of. So that, and that's kind of the point I'm getting at, is that you get the developer on there saying something that is absolutely true, and I'm not disagreeing with the facts, but then you get everybody's interpretation of it, and then you get their application of what their situation is to that, and then it validates that it must be true. And I just think that's kind of silly, is all I was really trying to point to. My point was, while people can be cheated or whatever, doesn't mean you are.
Things that you're experiencing that are bad is symptomatic of what you develop and not really. It's how you collaborate.
So if the developer doesn't send out some like patch notes on how they're stopping the DDoS, then one would assume that the people who are pissed off are still pissed off, and they would just keep DDoSing the server, right? Like, I don't know. People who do that, they're risking like crime and punishment and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to just arbitrarily throw it out there that hey, people are doing that.
Children.
Yeah, children, and then a bigger percent of the game are kids. Like, they just on the dark web getting DDoS servers to.
They're just buying, they're talking in fucking Discord, learning,
Oh, I definitely agree it's possible in that nature, because I wasn't exposed to that as much when I was younger. Like, people were playing Halo and shit with me, right? And they would talk about cheaters, and I'm just like, bro, if they're cheating, they're cheating, you know? Because I don't know nothing about it, so I can't even know how to stop them. But then they're, like, educated on how to actually do it, and I'm just like, that's a crazy world when you're, like, a hacker, like, the level of for granted that people take on systems and stuff, that you know how to make them work or infiltrate them. But yeah, I don't know. What do you get for DDoSing a server? Like, are the mobs tied to the server ping? Or, because really all you're doing is hurting the other players. You're not even helping yourself, you know? Because the mobs are client side, right? Like, they're not going to start rubber banding as much as you are.
I'm picking up the mob for the server side. They're going to be on the server side. Whatever you're getting is when you stop, and the server's still running.
No, I think your instance is your instance, right? Like, once I load up my instance, if I unplug my internet right now, my instance is mine. Like, I will be able to finish these mobs out. The Steam might not like the fact that I'm disconnected from the internet, but I think what's loaded into the actual graphic driver and CPU driver happens once the loading screen hits, right? So the fact that me and you are in it together, obviously if I disconnect the internet, our ability to tether each other would disconnect. But I think independently we would both still have my map. So that being said, that to me says that's client side.
I don't know if it's peer-to-peer like that at all times. I think that at some point in time there is things that are recorded server side, which can lead to those things. There is, like, because there's no way for it to be 100% peer-to-peer.
Well, like if I disconnect my internet, right, and I have an item on the floor, The item doesn't just disappear. It doesn't just deregister. It's still there. That's me. You know what I'm saying? So to some degree, you're gonna get requests from the server to update your content on your computer, and that's the disagreement I wouldn't understand, where it's server side or client side, because you're sending requests to the server, right? And then the server's populating your information. Whereas sometimes the server is asking you for information and then it populates, right? So if you need to input something, then the server's requesting information from you. Right now, you're just playing the game state.
I think that once you're like in the end game, I think that shit might be more. I like when you're doing pinnacle boss and when you're doing match, all that. Once you it's not peer to peer. That shit is a live thing that happens. That's what I'm saying. So if you die in there or something happens, it's all happening server side. It doesn't give a fuck what you or your partner do.
I don't disagree with that. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that if you hit like that with a DDoS, then the game is still going to act correctly, but the two players are not going to be able to play it because they can't. They're getting lagged out, right? That's what I'm trying to say, is that even when you do get DDoS, it's only affecting the players, not the game.
Right, which is a bad thing though, because that's worse. That's the worst part about it. This is the game, and we were both.
No, it's literally just an attack. It doesn't do anybody any good. You're just blackmailing, you're extorting the developer, which is illegal. And that's what I'm trying to say, like, to just throw that out there. You know, people do it. I just don't think 14-year-olds are really doing it and then, like, not going to jail for it, because they're definitely getting in trouble for it. I mean, DDoS in itself is illegal. I think if anything, like, you know, they're hip to it or whatever, and that's just something they'll fix. I mean, or work on, or maybe they'll accept the fact that they can't fix it, like you said, because people can just do it whenever they want. I haven't noticed any of it yet, and
Which is stupid.
it definitely sounds like some retaliatory shit from a small group of people that are pissed off about it. Like,
Seems like anytime there's a popular game, there's always going to be a group of people who wants to be, online, harmful to the servers. It's just the nature of all popular videos. Anything.
Like you, the first game, Faithful, GOE, just they had to wait 4 months until they got a fucking update or some shit.
right, like, why are you coming out of the woodwork to be toxic? You could have been toxic for the last 6 weeks.
Right.
Well, it's because the content changes. You know, that small group of people feels like the game devs didn't, tweak the game the correct way, so now they want to do what? Make the player base mad? Because that's all you're doing, right? Like, while you're still sitting in traffic and hurting the game devs at the moment, like, honestly, you're just hurting the people playing the fucking game, because
Everybody was talking, bro. Everybody got like bad reviews on the game. They stopped playing it. So a lot of them people who quit and were bored and angry afterwards because that was fucking DDoS and so they had just told them to do.
well, that's my point. It'd be really a small group of salty people, for real. Like, no matter how, like, why would you, no matter what you didn't like about this game, why would you engage in DDoSing, right? Like, so then why would any one person?
So my thing is like, as far as like I don't know, but I would assume that in order to DDoS the server, you would have to engage with the server, and you would have to leave some type of breadcrumbs behind, meaning that maybe they can weed these people out over time and set up safeguards.
No, the way these people get caught is that they get turned in by their friends because honestly, like, you be going around bragging on Snapchat or Instagram or Reddit that you're about to do attack, or if you're populated in an organized group that got caught doing it, you know, you get caught by association. Because DDoSing really is random, right? Like, you're sending a request from Beirut, China, fucking Australia to send 10,000 pings of information to that website that runs that server. So you need to know where the server's located. So that really limits to who even knows that information and why someone would know that information. Dog, you can't. I give you 24 hours right now, and you come back and tell me you DDoS somebody, and I wouldn't believe you. It's not easy.
Oh, I remember that we did know how to do a DDoS in Arc. There's a hack where, like it's a mic hack. You gotta take it to a certain point of the map, and you gotta put the enough a certain amount of foundations down, like a 12 by 12, and then you put a generator, and you all got so many maps. So many lights to these pipes.
But that's not a DDoS though.
Huh?
That's not a DDoS.
Yes, it is.
By putting foundations on the ground.
No, by targeting once you get this set up, you put the light switch on, which will send so much ping to the server that it will shut the server down. And so if a nigga's talking shit and you're fighting,
Turn the lights on,
or whatever, you can put that switch. And that's what people used to do. They used to have these set up. They push the switch and they would DDoS the server. The other way to do it is you could do it with I think brontosaurus. The biggest one, if you tamed enough of these ones, you can get on them, and what you would do is you'd have you only needed 3 people, nigga, and you'd get on them and go to certain parts of the map, and you just start, you would make it a berry gatherer. You just dump all in the strength so it could get max, harvest, and you would just swing the tail, and if 3 people did it at the same time, it would be off the server. Same thing, you could do it with, not Tusos, but the whales, whatever. I think whatever they're called, Tusos.
Yeah, but I want to be clear though. Like, that's not DDoSing though.
It is literally DDoS.
Bro, DDoSing is a federal offense. It is not a crime to get on 3 fucking Branos and swing your tail.
So when
you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, it's what the intent of your goal and what you're doing at the end is definitely considered a DDoS.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that too, right? Like, you could be maliciously attempting to DDoS something and not have the tools, but still be, in a crime for it, right? Like,
I don't know, saying I know how these people software DDoS, that is the crime shit, nigga. That's where, yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? Is that my understanding of what a DDoS is, it's a technical term for something that has to derive from specific things, or else it's not technically a DDoS, right? People call it getting DDoS, but you're really just you're doing something else, a different mechanic.
And try to definitively get you in trouble for doing stuff like this. I think they have a case for targeted attacks of their servers. I think the wild cards have literally gotten people in trouble, and have always had potential to. So I don't think it is a case. I think they do try to get people to.
I'll be back.